in those rankings. So our Olympic champion, defending champion here, appearing in her third consecutive final at the Indonesia Open. Xuerui, and the hugely popular world champion, Ratchanok INTANON from Thailand. Just 19 years of age. What a match she had yesterday against the former world number one, Xuerui. It was an hour and 23 minutes of some of the most wonderful badminton I've ever witnessed. So it is the number one seed, Xuerui, the defending champion, against the world champion, seeded 4 this year at the Indonesia Open. Well, if we look at the draw for the women's singles, you can see that at semi-final stage, 2 Chinese players, 2 Thailand players. At the quarterfinals, just 4 different nations. But Morten, is this just a demonstration of what we have been talking about? China has been dominant in women's singles, but we think that Thailand is up and coming. You look at that quarterfinals, 3 Chinese players, 3 Thailand players, and it really is the way women's singles is emerging.
Absolutely. I actually, when we talked about, you know, the Uber Cup in India, we talked about that one of the few nations that could actually dent China was India, because they have 2 good singles.
Yeah.
And if you look at it, Thailand can do the same, but Thailand didn't even make the semis.
Yeah.
I can't even remember if they made the quarters. But they can dent China because they have very good lady singles.
Yeah, well, seeing Xuerui's stats there, 5 tournaments played so far this year, 5 finals, winning 2 of them. And take note of her quarterfinal against the 3-time former champion, Saina Nehwal, which just picks up on the point you were making.
Yes.
But also, Jindapon from Thailand, her first ever Super Series semi-final. We're going to see a lot more of her. So, 23 years of age, Xuerui from Chongqing in Sichuan province. Her opponent, Ratchanok, just 19. Now, I'm a little surprised, in a way, that she's gone down to number 6 in the world ranking. She has been as high as 2, but in all fairness, when you look at her results earlier this year, 6 tournaments played, 1 final. That was the first Super Series event of the year, the Korea Super Series. She lost to Wang Yihan in that final. Since then, she's had a bit of a mixed bunch, hasn't she? She's been indifferent in her form, but I thought yesterday against Wang Xuerui, the former world number 1, I thought her fighting spirit, her sense of urgency within the rallies was reminiscent of the form that took her to that World Championship gold medal, and we haven't seen enough of that since that gold medal in Guangzhou.
I agree, totally agree, and we saw it in the quarterfinal again against Sun Yu.
Yeah.
Where she played a brilliant match. I am a little bit hesitant before this match, because I think Ratchanok's used a lot of energy winning the match yesterday.
Yeah, an hour and 25 minutes as opposed to just 37 minutes.
Yeah, but it's not only, it was a long match. It was a tough match. It was long rallies. And we saw on occasions that we were actually thinking she was cramping.
Yeah.
So I'm a little bit hesitant to see whether that's affecting her performance today. But let's see. Let's see. Let's hope not. Let's hope we will have a real fight here.
Ladies and gentlemen, on my right, Xuerui, China.
Janlin Fundal of the Philippines.
Ratchanok INTANON, Thailand. Ratchanok INTANON preferred. Love all. Play.
So the world champion against the Olympic champion. How good does that sound?
Yep.
Doesn't
get better.
I'm looking forward to this, exactly.
2 different nations.
Well, it's just gone long. Morten, we had a a little look just a moment ago on the previous encounters between these two players. This the 8th meeting on the previous 7. Xuerui has won 5 of them, which again I think contributes to your feelings that not only is Ratchanok perhaps going to struggle to recover from that intense semi-final, but also that the psychological effect of having lost more often to her opponent than she's beaten her is also a factor.
It is, and even a further factor is the actual play, the game that Xuerui is playing is probably not suiting Ratchanok that well, because there's just pace and pressure the whole time. She's not going that much on attack. She's just playing really fast, basic game, and obviously spiced up with some good shots now and again, but it's a basic but fast game. And that's not suiting Ratchanok very well.
It's landed in. A little look quickly from Ratchanok towards the line judge. Oh, is there going to be a challenge already?
Ratchanok, INTANON, challenge.
Oh, 3 love in the first game, and there's a challenge.
Yeah, I think she will lose it.
You think it was in?
Yeah.
Very difficult to tell. Maybe see better.
Oh. Yeah.
Ooh, no,
She's got a good chance.
Yeah, I think she has got a good chance. We'll wait for Hawkeye.
Yeah. Crowd will get it before us, I think.
Oh, that's not fair.
Oh, here it comes.
Here it comes.
Oh,
it was in. Oh, no, it's out. Out by a whisker. Oh, I do love this Hawkeye, don't you?
Yes, we do.
I love it.
Yes, we do.
1-3.
I love the whole challenge system. I just want more of them.
This is what I'm afraid, you know, in terms of this actual match, for us to watch it, is going to be the agenda. Xuerui is dictating the pace. Ratchanok is trying to react to it. But I fear that she hasn't got that stamina to stay with her due to a tough tournament on the way.
Yeah. The world champion had to save
5-1.
game points in the second round, in the second game, in a very, very long second game, 26-24. She'd had a tough first round match against the world junior champion and qualifier here, Akane Yamaguchi. Came from 10-14 down in the deciding game to win that one. And of course that semi-final we've talked about. All that said, Morgan, of course in the World Championship final when these two players played against each other, I remember very clearly that Ratchanok came back from 12-19 down in the opening game, saved 3 game points, and I thought that Xuerui got a little bit frustrated by her opponent and that fighting spirit, which I suppose in a way enhances your opinion that with Ratchanok having such a hard semi-final, will she be able to fight in that same way as she did during the World Championship final?
I don't think so, and that's my whole point. And you know, I talk from experience.
Yeah.
You know, you go through one tough match after the other, and eventually when you get to that final, it's just sold out. There's nothing left.
Gone wide. Yeah, but much better to lose in the final and leave nothing left for wondering maybe if. And then not been in the final, so even if you're very tired, you still give it everything.
You give it whatever you have.
If you've run out of steam, you've run out of steam, but you still give 100%.
Yeah, I remember I played actually a semi-final here against Nisbon Siddiq a long, long time ago. And obviously it was the old scoring system. And I honestly, after the match, I could not remember how I won that setting in the third. I could not remember. I was completely gone. Next day, I got 2 and 3.
Wow, who was that against?
Lunjin. But it could have been a Grand Prix final.
4-8.
We played a lot in Indonesia in those days. Played the Grand Prix finals, the World Cups, and obviously the Indonesian Opens.
Oh, brilliant net shot, absolutely superb from Xuerui.
9-4.
Yeah, that's perfect. Beautiful.
Over. 10-5.
Oh, that's nice. It's little errors like that that are the sign to me of tiredness, that accumulation of tiredness that you were talking about, Morten.
Yes.
It builds, doesn't it, throughout the tournament. So what do you do in a situation like that? You've just talked about the fact how you've experienced it. Do you stick to game plan A in your normal style, or do you say to yourself, right, I have to go to this for this?
You have to twist it in a totally different way.
Yeah.
Especially, you know, having my game, and I would say it's very similar to Ratchanok. She's got to draw her opponent into the net. Try to see if she can get more net exchanges, because that's not so challenging in terms of physical.
Yeah.
And obviously she's got to go for really good shots. She's got to take chances, go smashes on the lines and all that, and play a few trick shots, try to upset the rhythm. Obviously take as much time as possible between rallies, as much as what the umpires allow you to do.
Yeah.
See, that's it. Short and sweet. Really try to go for it, and you can see the coach is really happy as well. Play that net shot.
Did that get deflected by hitting the net cord?
Yes, it did.
Yeah.
But I don't know once again whether they heard us, because I actually think that's what she's trying to do now.
Yeah. Yeah, you can see it there, the deflection.
shot.
36.
But that's a definite sign of being tired. She's not getting to that one. It's a good shot from Xuerui, no doubt about it. But a fresh Ratchanok would get it.
Yeah.
Service over. 7-13.
Well played.
Very good.
Yeah, that's really well played. Hats off for that.
8-13.
And obviously, there is no doubt in my mind that Xuerui just have to stay calm and composed and play her shots and play her game, and then just have that patience to follow through. That smash was a bit of a, you know, taking chances, panicky shots, where this was a lot more solid. There's a good follow-up on it. Should it not go down, she was prepared to play the next shot and so on. She's got to stay very composed and focused.
Yeah.
And chances are that she will go and pull through. In tennis, you would call it percentage tennis?
Yep. It's landed in. There's something else in the equation here, Morten, that we haven't really talked about.
14.
I did mention when we were looking at the Destination Dubai list that Xuerui had won last week in Japan. We talk about accumulation of tiredness. Her opponent lost in the first round last week, so she has, not that she would have wanted a sort of rest last week in Tokyo, but yes, she's had a lot of very tough matches this week, the world champion from Thailand, but this lady has had 2 weeks of very tough matches. So maybe that's an influence on the accumulation of tiredness.
Yeah, but it all depends on how hard she had to fight for it in Japan. I wasn't there myself, but then you have to go dig into the numbers and matches and all that of last week. It can also work in a positive way for her, because it gives a lot of confidence having won one tournament going on to the next.
Yeah.
Also, obviously, depending on how much energy you're spending on it. But it's a bonus. It's on your confidence account. Oh, I would challenge that.
16-11.
So Ratchanok chose not to.
Well, you're looking straight down that line.
Yep. Play the net. That's where I think, you see, she should play that net. Ratchanok. In a situation like that, Xuerui is actually inviting her in, and she should play that shot. She should go for it. She's 16-11 down. If she can play a nice tumbling net shot, it could be 12-16 rather than 17-11.
Yeah.
She's got to take those chances. Especially when you've got an invitation.
Well, do you remember a couple of rallies ago, she left one on that back line and it landed in. I think there was real hesitation again.
12-17.
Yeah. Maybe the influence of that previous one made her play a shot that initially she was going to leave.
18-13.
Oh, it's been called good. There's been another challenge here
Ratchanok,
from
INTANON.
Ratchanok.
Challenge in.
Immediately looked to the umpire.
I think she could be right.
Well, she was right the last time. We're asking Hawkeye
Challenge
to
unsuccessful.
have another little look.
One
Here we go.
challenge
It's
remaining.
unsuccessful.
That one is in.
19.
Look at that.
That's why we need the technology. Oh, well, she was way off balance. Xuerui.
20. Game point. 13.
Got away with it and perhaps senses that her opponent just a fraction slower than normal. So game points, 7 of them to be precise. Oh, that's delightful, isn't it?
Game.
Opening game, 21-13. 17 minutes of play.
Xuerui, 21-13.
Well, very, very impressive from the Olympic champion. And indeed the world champion, as we thought she might do, looking a little bit jaded. Well, the whole body language of this young lady.
20
Well, sometimes she
seconds.
does look as if she
20
isn't
seconds.
really interested, looks very relaxed, very laid back sort of persona about her. But it is going to be an upward battle from here. But she has the racket skills. What just delights me when I watch Ratchanok INTANON play is the sheer skills and the variation in her tools in the box, as you like to describe it.
Yeah, she's got a lot. But
Second game.
they are not
Love all. Play.
so strong they can stand alone. Her technical abilities, you cannot stand alone in the sense that, you know, you have players like
Service over.
Linden, Targo, Xuerui, these kind
One
of players that have
love.
such strong technique that can stand alone on many occasions, that you don't have to follow it up by good physical work.
Physicality.
Yeah, but she's got to have that physicality to back it up. She hasn't got a technique that can dent anyone at any time
2
without
love.
backing it up.
Yeah.
If I
No,
explain myself.
I understand exactly what you mean.
That's really good play.
Service over.
Xuerui
I mean, I've just been talking, obviously, about the skills of Ratchanok, but given what you've just said, immediately went through my mind, yep, he's right. And Xuerui is the complete package. She has the skills, she has the physicality, and she has the tactical awareness as well.
Yeah. But can be shaken. We've seen her being shaken on a number of occasions mentally. But the package, as you look at it, is really strong.
Mm. That's good judgment. It's gone long.
5-1.
Good start by Ratchanok.
That one's gone wide. Is this one of... Oh, she's going to challenge.
No, I think she's changing the shuttle.
Oh, right. Oh, I was getting too excited. Thought we were going to have another challenge.
No, I think she's changing the shuttle. It's quite far out.
Yeah.
So, a very good start by Thailand.
Another error.
7-1.
6 straight points. 1-1.
Service over. 2-7.
We noticed yesterday, I think it was, Morton, with Ratchanok, a couple of times coming to the net. I don't think she stays with the shot long enough. She's almost pulling away.
Before she's played the shot.
Yeah. I think that was an example of that.
4-7.
So it's been a fairly erratic start for both the players in this second game.
And that was a good clear from Xuerui. Good movement. Doing a lot of work. Oh, it's called out. I was going to say that's landed in. There's going to be a challenge here.
Ratchanok, INTANON. Challenge out.
And this will be her third challenge. She's had one successful, one unsuccessful. So if this is unsuccessful, she's got no challenges left. Here we go. Oh yes, good challenge.
Challenge successful. One challenge remaining. Service over. Eight, 6.
That's lovely skill, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think sometimes we forget just how skillful
7,
and how deceptive
8.
Xuerui is. That's just a glorious shot.
And a tired Ratchanok.
Yeah.
Was it 7-1,
8
8-all now?
Yeah. Way out of position.
Nine, 8.
Go cross. Yeah, that's the desperate shot if you go cross, but I would have done it. Jin. Right, happy?
Yeah, did you notice Xuerui after the rally there, a little jog after she played the win-up,
8.
sending a very definite message to her opponent. Take a look at this. See that? I'm fit, I'm ready, I'm going to push it. Oh, this is absolutely
11,
superb.
8. Interval.
10 of the last 11 points going to the Olympic champion, Xuerui. Well, Morten, you were talking during the opening game about just running out of fuel, and you know, I know marathon runners tell us about hitting the wall.
Yes.
And I know badminton players, I've experienced it myself, where
20 seconds.
especially in these hot, humid conditions, you just can't give any more.
Yeah. I don't think Ratchanok has got anything left, but I think she will obviously fight the very best she can.
Yeah.
She won't throw it in any way, but I think, you know, people watching this match, you just have to accept there is nothing left. Don't be disappointed. She's really doing everything she can.
Yeah.
And then she's having a small break, and you see some spring
Yes.
in her legs again. And I assure you, in 2 minutes, she's back flat-footed.
I don't think it was 2 minutes, Morten.
12, 8.
I think Ratchanok can take a lot with her from this tournament. I think you were so right in what you said in the opening before this match, that we suddenly have seen that Ratchanok we saw that won the World Championship last year, and I so agree with you, and I think we can. I think she can take a lot of good things back from this tournament and say, okay, I know now I can do it. There are obviously things I have to work on.
Yeah.
But there are so many positive things I can use.
Yeah.
Service over. 9-13.
There you go. Play the net. That's what she said.
Yeah. I can't stop laughing, you know, sitting here behind the court. And I think that's what she should have done from the very beginning. Take that chance, play it back at the net, see if she can get some easy points she doesn't have to work for. Just pure skills.
Service over. 14-10.
She's challenging. I thought she would.
Xuerui, challenge in.
Chen Jin would have done the same. I looked to the coach's bench and he said the same. So chances are that she's right.
Now that's something that we need to address actually.
Oh, it is called in.
It is called in. She's wrong.
Challenge.
Because I don't personally like the way the players turn and look at their coaches for advice as to whether to challenge or not. We need to stop that.
Yeah,
I don't know how.
You can't. You can't.
Service over.
Ban the coaches
Yeah,
from
why
the
not?
side of the court.
Yeah, why not?
We are a couple of old fogies, aren't we?
We did not used to have.
No. Can't talk about the old days. The game has moved on so much.
Yes.
So much better now.
Service over.
Gone long. Well, a little revival here. Maybe from Ratchanok INTANON. Oh dear. Oh, I didn't like the way she picked up that shuttle.
No.
Very slow, very deliberate. Which is only 3 points adrift now.
She's got to keep that one in.
17-13.
Good backhand. I saw that yesterday as well.
Yeah.
I think she plays a very solid, good backhand.
Yeah.
Very nice down that line.
This one here.
Yeah. she plays that really well.
Yeah, and look at her movement and positioning after that as well. That's a fabulous cross-court smash to end it.
That's it. Oh, right.
2 points away from retaining her title. Point away.
20. Hot point. 13.
Going long. Champion once again. Xuerui, 2-game victory over the player that beat her in the World Championship final last year. Absolute symmetry in the scoreline. 21-13, 21-13 in just 37 minutes.
21-13, 21-13.
Well, we feared, really, didn't we, Morten, about the after effects of Ratchanok's magnificent semi-final yesterday against former world #1, Wang Xiaoxian. And sadly, our fears were realised as the match progressed.
But I think, you know, I'm very happy watching Ratchanok here. I am really very happy watching her, because on some occasions I have felt that she didn't care that much.
Yes.
And even today, when all odds is against her.
I'm with Xuerui.
She
恭喜
really
恭喜 Congratulations, you won again. 那你觉得现在的比赛怎么样啊？
今天的比赛比预想中要轻松一点，那也很谢谢在场的球迷给我们加油。
So she said that today's competition is very important, and I would like to congratulate you for winning. And you won twice in a row, 2 times in a row. I mean, last year and this year. So do you think next year you can win again? So 去年你赢了，今年你赢了，你想怎么样？下年还有业吗？
还会继续的。
还会继续的。She's gonna put up, she's gonna be positive thinking about it. So once again, give it up for Xuerui!
Well, she's already been in a hat-trick of finals, 3 consecutive finals, but still, she wants more. She wants to come back next year and hopefully retain her title.
Good attitude.
For a 3rd year. Very good attitude. And a very good performance in today's final.
Yes.
To the prize presentation for the women's singles. Well, her second final of the year, her second Super Series final, and the second time for the World Champions. She's got to settle for second best, but what a year Xuerui is having. 6 tournaments played, 6 finals, and today her 3rd title. The gold medal but first the silver medal to the beaten final. her 18th final today in Super Series events, and it's her 11th title. It's a very handsome check too. Peter Takala, chairman of the BWF Events Committee, making that presentation.
Finally is our badminton legend, Mr. Ade Chandra, handing in the hand bouquet to runner-up and the winner of women's single.
Dan memberikan bunga adalah Bapak Ade Chandra sebagai legenda badminton kita. Sekali lagi berikan tepuk tangan yang meriah buat para pemenang hari ini.
Yes, let's give a big round of applause.
So the players pose for the photographers with the presentation party. And Ade Chandra on the far right as we look at them. Did they win the World Championship here in 1980 with Christian Hadenatha?
Yes, I think you're right. Very good doubles pair. They won the All England on many occasions.
Well, the Olympic champion and the world champion didn't live up to the billing, it has to be said. But it is great to see Ratchanok back to the sort of form that took her to the world title. We've seen it earlier in the tournament, but sadly not today. Just a spent force physically, I think.